move at the speed of money, there's no time. So what does that mean though, practically? So we've been talking a lot about different tools and frameworks and different ways to show up in your business. How do you put all that together and use AI to go faster, make quicker decisions, implement and experiment more quickly so you can be moving at the speed of money and get out the way? But first, we got to bring in the Zoom. Here we go. Somebody gonna get mad I'm not singing the song today. Okay. Okay, bringing in the Zoom. Bringing in the Zoom. Here we go. Here we go. Well, good morning, good evening. What to do? How are you? Hooty hoo. Happy Tuesday too. I am the sound of money in your ear, dollar buck. That's D-O-double-O. I'm often imitated, never duplicated. They call me the $1 billion babe, aka the bitch queen, aka the people's coach, aka Coach Dollar Bill. And you are in the dollhouse. This is the home of high value entrepreneurs. Over here, high value means we make over six figures. We got high incomes. Okay. We got high frequency energy. We're tapped in to the frequency of abundance. We live in the state of abundance. We're tapped into our zone of genius. We're not down here with the people who are fighting over the little twos and fews and what they can see. We don't live down there. We have higher thoughts. And number three, we have the habits of a high value entrepreneur. So we take our time seriously. We keep our word and commitment to each ourselves and to other people. We do the work. We heal. Somebody in the dollhouse said, there's healing in motion. You know, sometimes when life be life, you just got to keep your feet moving. We have learned how to hold ourselves to account, even when people around us don't understand and nobody understands. You know, whatever's going on. I hear all these stories from you guys. Whatever might be going on in your household or your family, as a high value entrepreneur, you can transcend that, rise above. So we learn how to tap into the 4D, same place where your idea came from, your wisdom came from, your talent came from. Where is that? You can't see that. Touch it. Show it to me. You can't do it. But you have to keep your emotions and your nervous system state up there. I don't care what happens to you. I don't care what bill you couldn't pay, whatever went on. Your emotions and your nervous system state and your thoughts got to stay up there. That's where your intuition can be free to do what it needs to do. And then you come down here in the 3D and you make moves and call who you need to call, go where you need to go, and it's going to work. It has to. It has to. Okay, so the field of, like the field, that's why they call it a field. Just like when you have a job, they call it your career field. You know, all these words have meaning, right? So the energetic field around you, the place where you're like, I'm going to do this thing, but I don't know what's on the other side of this action. That's the field. When you make a phone call, when you send an email, when you walk into a place and just, I feel like I should go over here. Let me do this. Let me do that. Intuition is telling you to do stuff. That's your field. You just gotta move. You gotta move at the speed. Because if I give you this insight, intuition, you know, and I'm like, I need you to da 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 da. And 2 years later, you still haven't moved on that. Well, was intuition wrong, or did you just wait? Now the window has passed. That's just like if you go and sow a seed in the ground in the wrong season. There's nothing wrong with the seed. There's nothing wrong with farming. It's just you missed your window. So we got to start moving at the speed of these opportunities. And a lot of times that is going to require you to move beyond what you can see. And I hate saying that because then people get into all this, oh, I'm moving by faith. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, it is faith, but no. I'm saying you have to move in a way where I don't know what's on the other side of this, but I'm doing it anyway, like a farmer. And this is important now. So I'm going to move now. I'm going to make this phone call now. I'll take this action now. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, next week. You don't know who's on the other side of the country having a meeting looking for this exact thing that intuition had you working on 2 years ago. So if you wait until you can see everything, you'll never be in position. But you have to combine that with the giving and receiving feedback loop that I keep talking about, so that you're not just building in isolation and you don't get delusional. Let's say it that way, right? So if nobody's checking for you, there's no momentum, there's no motion in your business. So we don't just move in isolation and just make up stuff. So the way to manage that, we talked about it a lot yesterday, but the way to manage that, the easy way to do it, you don't have to think too hard about it. Just aim to get 1% better every single day. So whatever it is that you're doing, like you're being consistent about, I'm being persistent, this is what I'm supposed to do. I don't necessarily see all the results I think I need to see yet. Get 1% better every day. Well, how do I know what 1% to change or to tweak? That's based on the feedback that you're getting from the humans that you're talking to, because we're not building in isolation. We're not playing on our Canva and just, sitting around looking at mood boards all day. We're talking to humans. Based on the feedback that we get, we make adjustments. I know that this is something, intuition keeps telling me that. So I got this part. So tomorrow, let me start working on this. Next week, let me start adding this. I know my coach keeps telling me to do this, and I couldn't do it before. I wasn't there before, but now let me go ahead and add this. Get better every day, and you'll always end up where you're supposed to be. So I hope that this is continuing to be helpful for you guys. Shout out to y'all who are on the streaming as well. I see you on the Zoom. We need to be in a position where no matter what comes, because some of the same family members that are like, in their feelings right now with some of you guys that I've heard the stories, not all of them, but some of them are going to be coming back asking you for help and asking you for solutions before it's all over. Okay? You're going to be the one that you have a level head when everybody else is freaking out. And they're going to be asking you for advice and asking you for support and fill in the blank. So you got to be strong enough, with enough of a financial foundation, I should say, to where you can show up or not, but so you can not be moved and swayed when people around you, people close to you, start to panic. Okay? So being in business right now, let's say it wasn't World War III. Let's say it wasn't, chaos and confusion at the airport. Let's say none of this was going on. We still have a storm out here that we need to address, that none of our leaders are really discussing. We're walking around, it's kind of like business as usual. I mean, they're still doing March Madness. I mean, y'all remember the reason why people thought the pandemic was like, oh, now it's a thing. We had gotten a call 3 months prior, but people really felt like, oh, this must be a thing when they canceled the NBA. I don't know if y'all remember that. It was like March 11th or 12th, somewhere in there, 2020. And when they said, oh, the NBA season shut down, then they were like, oh, wait a minute, what is going on here? What is this? This must be a thing. Okay, but right now you're still going and coming, and well, they can't get on planes anymore. Planes are being canceled right now. I mean, it's slowly happening. But right now it's still kind of feels normal-ish. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z got time to go on a PR press tour again or whatever. People still, worried about what this celebrity and that one is doing. But if you pay attention, if you're thinking about business and opportunities and the job market and consulting and going back to work or going back to school or, some plan, it seems fine from the outside. But as you start walking around and really paying attention, something feels off. Like the foundation just feels a little bit different. And so decisions that would have been a no-brainer for you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if it was 2015 or if it was 2005, it starts to feel a little bit, I'm not sure. And if you're paying attention, you already know that the playbooks that used to work even 2 years ago are not working the same. So if you just hustle and just persevere and just apply more effort to the same old model, you're going to get less and less return back, because the entire global financial system is being reset right now. The entire way that the world thinks about work is being reset right now. And so that can be disorienting, because you can't really say why. It's like, as much as I talk, it's hard for me to explain like what's going on. And I only know in part. So I share what I know, you know what I mean? But it's just like something's up. Like everything is still fine, but it's clearly not the same. You know what I mean? So that's why I spend so much time talking about your discernment, intuition, because those flashes that are trying to tell you to take another route, to chart a new path, maybe something that you've never seen anybody do before, or you keep hearing about this thing and I need to check that out, but you're not familiar with that. That's intuition trying to help you. Hey, you might want to take this path. You might want to go this way. And so when people start using tools like AI for anything, whether it's for their work, their job, their business, anything, all of a sudden, things that used to take a week or a month, they're doing it in a couple of hours or in a day. Something that used to take a whole team, a whole quarter to do, they're getting it done in a month or a week with a couple people. If you actually had to present your company to potential partners and investors or whatever, and they ask you what your AI strategy is, you don't have no answer. So I really don't know how any of us could really be. That's not true for every single one of us, but 99% of us, there's some aspect of what you do that can be enhanced by AI. There's some expense that you can reduce significantly by leveraging AI. And a lot of you, if you're public facing, if you're doing any kind of strategic consulting or thought leadership or any type of work, knowledge-based work, you are about to be replaced by AI if you're not learning how to leverage those tools. Anything that you do on a computer all day, you have to understand you have to change your relationship with AI. Just like people say they had to change their relationship with money. We've been talking for 83 days about that. You have to change your relationship with AI so we can move faster. The way you spend your time, how you serve your clients, your processes, everything you do, you have to get on the other side of this. You can't just say, "Oh, well, I'm not familiar with that."
That's funny you're talking about that because I'm starting to integrate like the notes note takers in my meetings when I speak with clients because it's helped so much to summarize the what do you call it, like the actual task summary, and then it'll complete a list of tasks for me that that I have to do coming out of the meeting, and even tasks that the client has to do. So I've found that so helpful to be able to, put it into my GPT and be like, okay, this is the plan. Like, give me an email to go with this. Let's go ahead and set up the project scope because I have templates that I've created with it to go faster, basically.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's helping so much. The tip that you gave us about recording our conversations, I'm taking it super seriously. I try not to do it too much in person, but I did try it, and they were fine with it. It was just me thinking in my head, people don't want to be recorded, but they don't care.
They actually don't care, number one. And number two,
right,
because it's your phone. It's not like you're going to put it on the internet.
Yeah, so and it's being used for them. It's not like
voice
I'm,
memo.
Yeah,
you turn on your voice memo and don't even have to make it weird. And that those notes, it catch things that you wouldn't be able to remember.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's because some of the meetings, like, they're set for 30 minutes, but then we end up talking, especially if they're in the dollhouse, we'll talk about our initiatives and things we could collab together with. So it's nice to have that all in one place, somewhere I can link to with my CRM, which I'm looking to update now, actually, to connect it to some kind of newsletter. I'm still trying to figure out the connection between Substack and the newsletter sequence. So, but I think I found a program that will work well for me that is free. It like gives me 300 emails a day, and I can integrate it into my website. And it even like has a little chatbot feature on it to capture, I guess, questions and stuff. I was like, that's cool.
Beautiful.
And it has some analytics in it too. So I'm on the free tier. So I'm gonna try that and update my framework on my landing page.
That sounds amazing.
And I'm using AI for all of it to help.
That's what you need. And that's how we go faster, which is really my point.
Right. It's crazy how fast I can get things done. I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and create this template. But now that I have my About Me file and my brand guide and all of that set up, it is a lot easier to be like, okay, here's, do you remember the file? If you don't, here it is. And how you're telling us to prompt it and all of that has been so helpful.
Beautiful. And there's more that you can do on the end product side of what you build.
What do you mean?
For your clients. Remember I said I'm going to be researching some things for you? There's some of the work that you do in terms of the end product. We can also do AI.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. I thought I was doing that with like the project proposals and stuff, but yeah, you're right. With the
that's the admin work part, but the work as well. Mm-hmm.
Right. Because I was considering I think I told you there's a guy that reached out to me through LinkedIn because I've been reaching out to people and just a lot of tech people who are creating things. So it's a little easier to be like, hey, let's talk. And they can tell me about their product and what they're doing, and I can do the same. So I found that very helpful as well.
That's beautiful. So we're in a moment, y'all. That's for everybody. The internet was a moment when everything went to mobile phones and smartphones. That was a moment when everything went to cloud computing. That was a moment. And people who move, who jump on it, who get ahead of it, who are like, this is weird. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to learn it anyway. Who got uncomfortable. Social media was a moment. Well, everybody else was still like, oh, I don't need that. It's fine. I'm over here. I'm fine. Everybody who moved during the weird part when we still don't know what this is, they came out ahead. And they end up owning the next decade, if you will. They're the ones that we're looking at now who are on social media and doing all of the stuff because they were out there playing in 2003. They were out there trying to figure it out. And so I want more people from this group to be a part of that for what's coming next. Okay. So people who wait and watch and study and get ready and all of that, you might be smart enough. You might be, agile enough, talented enough to kind of survive and kind of figure it out. You get lucky, if you will. But I don't believe in luck. I don't want you guys to be the followers that barely made it in this shift that's coming. I want you to become the leaders. I want you to be a part of what I call the leaders of the new world. I need you to be already in the city when everybody else figures out 5 years later that all the jobs are gone from the farms. And then they try to, I don't know nothing about the city. Well, I guess we got to go. Ain't nothing else to do. And then they come in the city and guess who they meet? You. You already got the restaurant, the barbershop, the boarding house, the school. They got to come see you. And that's the metaphor I want you to have in your mind. If you will embrace all the changes that are happening, whether that's, being set up, this is not for everybody. It's certainly not relevant right now. But theoretically, everybody needs to be thinking like this. Can somebody pay you in something other than USD? Are you set up for that? Are you using AI to speed up and go faster in any and all of your processes internally and externally in your business? Like internal facing work, like the admin work, as well as the end product, the client work. What can AI do? What research can AI do? I need a consultant. I need a marketing agency. I need to raise this money so I can hire this person to do this and that. Can AI do for you? So we can speed up and go faster because disruption is here again. It's here. Now, we know AI is not new. I don't know if y'all know that, but it's not new. It wasn't invented in 2023.
I was talking with somebody, another not client, business that is on LinkedIn, and they are specializing in integrating AI into businesses. And he's over in the UK, but they've helped different clients, various places. So basically, what he told me is they are working on a way to integrate restaurants recommendations and all of that, like how we go to Google to find things or Google search. They're trying to figure out, or they are in the process of figuring out how to incorporate that into the chat bots so that when you type in chat, I've done this before, help me plan a weekend getaway, this is my budget, all the things, and recommend places. So I thought that was very interesting. I'm like, okay, wow.
Yeah.
They're
You
making
won't
it,
be
yeah,
searching anything. They're going to be pulling
exactly.
from existing. You need to read this book. Here's your hotel. This is the type of pizza we're going to order.
Mm-hmm.
All of that. So
That's what they're
if
planning,
you don't
and it's very
exist,
specific.
nobody's going to be searching for you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're headed. Absolutely.
It's crazy. I was like, oh, no more Google search.
Yep.
That's going to be weird, but it makes sense.
Yep. Because it's just going to follow, it knows what you've been doing and follow your patterns. And based on this, it's going to recommend this. And that's what it is. And if you don't ask for something by name, you'll never see it. There's no more searching.
Right. Yeah. I thought that was very interesting.
Yep. Go ahead, Tracy.
Hi, doll. Hi, everyone. This is Tracy with Your Thoughts Yoga, where yoga is the dance of the soul. And I teach people of color over 40 how to put down the 40 ounce and get high off of their breath. Yes, this is what I do. And I've been doing it for 19 years in 3 different continents with continual success. People I've worked with have gotten their minds right, their metabolism right, and their money right. And right now, I'm creating a cohort of 90 people ready to give 100% of their efforts in regulating their nervous system through breath work, body work, so that they can get off other people's nerves and start to have the nerve to live their life fully. That's it. So what I was going to say is, one, Makaya, when you're recording someone, you don't have to tell anyone because, and I think Dahl keeps telling us this, when you are in a conversation with someone, it is completely legal to record someone. And I found this out the 2010 when I moved to Haiti for the first time. And I was taking my great aunt. My daughter was coming, but my great aunt, they had put her in a nursing home. And I used to see her every day, take her to church, bring her chicken, do different things. And then when I was leaving, I said, I'm moving to Haiti. And she was like, Tracy, when you leave, no one is going to come see me. And I had to start to move quickly, and I wanted to get her out of the nursing home. And there was a whole thing that I had to do. And one of the things was I recorded the fact that she did not want to be there. Like, this lady raised.
So Georgia is a one-party state. I mean, it's not about legality because you're not going to use it, but I'm literally telling you, just hit record and it's fine. Like, I've made millions of dollars doing this. I've been doing it for years. Just
right. I think I was just in my head with that, but honestly, I prefer to tell people if I need to.
And the only reason why I say that, like, if you're planning to use the audio or the footage, that's one thing. But if it's just for your notes, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
And the only reason why I say that is because not everybody, but some people, when you say I'm recording, then their whole energy shifts.
That's true.
Yeah. So now I'm not getting the real feedback.
Right.
Because I need this data in order to build my business. So
okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Exactly. Someone taught me that too, that when something is being recorded, it's not the same, especially when people know people can forget, and people do. I record people, clients here, and they'll let me know I can record them, and they'll say certain things. They're like, oh my God, I forgot the recording was there. I completely forgot. So people do forget, but at the same time, they're still aware, at some parts that they're being recorded. So yeah, you don't have to tell them when you're doing an audio recording.
What else you got, Trace?
What was I going to say? I went out speaking to humans today.
Great.
And that felt really good, just listening to 2 things. My intuition was within the fact that I need to do this by 11, like 11:30, because that's when, things, I just feel like that's the right time. Mm-hmm. And I kept trying to take a break, but I'm like, okay, no, you're already in motion, just leaving the gym, just change your shoes and just go.
Great.
So I did that today and that felt good. Another thing is not having a destination. Like I always say, okay, I'm going to here, but in the midst of going there, sometimes I run into other people, or sometimes I have to ask, is that place there? And I think that's not the people I'm talking to. I'm like, no, you're talking to everybody. So even when I talk to the so-called, I guess, people that would be considered the on the way businesses that I meet, I spend time talking to them. Mm-hmm. And I pitch them like I would pitch anyone else. Mm-hmm. And then talking about where AI is moving. In the last couple of months, I've been even thinking about how AI may actually start working out for people. Like, your body is this, they're sleeping, and it's literally moving your body for you. Now that sounds crazy, but I do think as much as wellness can't be duplicated in some ways. You have different things like robots and mirror things that people are using at home digitally. Yet there might come a time where robots are moving your body. And
Yep. But long before we get there, you're going to have enough money to have somebody on your team whose job it is to figure that out. And you'll be one of the first in the world to do it. That's really what I want for y'all.
Then lastly, it's like I'm at the yoga studio now, and they have a little, round little robot thing, a little thing that goes around cleaning the floor. It's just a round thing. And there comes a point where I guess the energy is low in it, and it needs to get back to its source. So it'll start to go slow, like, and then yesterday I'm watching myself watching. I'm like, oh no, I need to pick this up because it's looking for its source and I want it to be happy. And I'm sitting here thinking about this thing that's a little, and I said, Tracy, imagine they start to put, this is a real human body, a real human face. You have sympathy for a damn circle thing finding its base. And she's like, this thing is going to get wild when they actually start putting human faces, because this has no face. It's just a little round thing circling on the floor.
This is what I'm trying to do. I know. This is why I'm trying to have us take 2 steps at the time. I don't need us all the way over there when 50% of the population, people getting married to AI robots and stuff. I'm not on that. I'm literally saying right now, all of us on this phone can use AI to either save money or speed up and make more money. Like right now, today. And we need to be in that mindset, whether that's to help you get your product, your content out faster, whether that's to take all of your notes that you've been teaching workshops for 5 years, and you need to pull some of your transcripts and recordings and put it in the AI and put some form and structure to that and start selling a course on demand, whether that's letting it handle building some agents and letting it handle some of the front end of the work that you have to do for clients. So you don't have to be so hands-on, which means you have more capacity to serve more clients. You can make more revenue this quarter, next quarter. I need us to think like CEOs. Okay. Y'all are brilliant in this room. You built something from scratch, just sheer force of will and grit and creativity out the mud and all of that. So we are the ones who need to be embracing whatever disruption is going on, as opposed to, I don't need all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing. Like, don't let this be you. So we need to be looking through the lens of opportunity, where other people just see uncertainty or even novelty. Act like an entrepreneur, try new things, but think like a CEO.
And then one of the places I went to was also a suit shop, an Italian suit shop on the square in McDonough. And guy took a lot of time. He owned the suit shop. He was Italian. He was taking a lot of time speaking with me, even though he was like, yeah, we don't have a place for this. But then he was just telling me about other things, which was super cool. But one of the things he mentioned that certain people, he was like, you need to go to K&G to get your suits because these are original da-da-das. And I was like, okay. And he was like, because people want to buy things online and they have AI things, different things, but those things are at most maybe 30% accurate. And I'm listening to this, but I'm thinking, if AI can be 30% accurate, it could soon be 100% accurate buying the suits. And I'm not saying his business isn't worthwhile, because it is. But the truth is, this thing, he needs to, instead of thinking that he has a storefront that is untouchable, he needs to integrate with the fact that AI, if it's 30%, that's a big number. That's a big number. It could go 100%.
Right.
So that's kind of,
yeah. And here's the thing, I guess, to take away from all of this, because what tends to happen when I say something abstract, I wanted to tell y'all this from this morning, but that's going to go on the WhatsApp. We tend to get very abstract. The smarter you are, the more we do this. We just go to the abstract. It's like, yeah, oh my God, AI is this thing. It is coming soon. Yeah, I do need to. And that's not what I'm saying at all. I want us to zoom into the specific. Because right now, where you are in the workflow that you're already designing and creating, could AI help you get your schedule and your productivity together that you've been struggling with? Could AI help you see patterns in all the conversations that you've been having? But you got to put it you got to feed it. Could it help you see something that maybe you couldn't see? Could AI be your strategic thought partner and your executive coach to help you come up with a strategy for what's going on right now in your industry, not how it was 5 years ago? To help you speed up your learning curve so you can hurry up and get to the clientele that you want to get to help you position yourself as a thought leader and a public speaker, and you think it could come up with some ways and give you some models that, could you tell AI, this is your role? You are a McKinsey, you are a Bain and Company consultant. I'm entering this industry. I'm looking to do this. I need to know all the trends in the last 5 years. Who's big in this space? What's worked? What hasn't? And here's my bio. Here's my resume. Here's my background. Here's all the data, all the conversations that I've had. I've interviewed 25 clients so far. I need you to help me turn this into some money. How would you approach this? If I was paying you, 6-figure consulting gig, and let your GPT do some work for you instead of, man, I need an investor. So you go what? So I can hire a marketing agency. Your AI could do that. That's what I mean. I want us to be very practical. Combine the fact that you know that these tools exist with your intuition. Like, this is a very intimate thing. I'm saying get right in there. It's like, what's your instinct? Where would you like to be? I would like to serve this kind of client. I would like to build this kind of community. I would like for my brand to be blah, 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 blah. But you have some gaps in your knowledge. Well, 5 years ago, when I was in tech, they tell you to go out and raise money, which I did, but they tell you that because they say, now you got to go and hire a team. All these people who were supposed to have the expertise, he used to work in corporate, she used to work for this one, he used to work over there, and bring all that knowledge to what you're building so that you can know how to move to get from where you are to this vision of what you said you want to build. But literally right now, today, I don't need any of those people. But I do have to spend time learning how to build and use and leverage AI to replace all of that. But if I'm thinking, oh, that's not for me, that's for somebody else. No, it's literally for you. What kind of business you say you want? You want all over the world. You want to be in Bali and have cruises and retreat centers everywhere. And you want your brand to be, more famous than whatever brand. And you want to be in every retail location in America. Well, why we not asking AI can you study all my competitors and typically, how it used to be in the space and what could I do now with here's my positioning, but you got to tell it its role. Not something you found on the internet that you just read some Google blog articles. No, you are a former Google executive. I need you to advise me, tell it what to do, and you'll get a totally different result. I'm doubting that we're spending our time with AI in that way. So it could do some flyers and it could do some graphics. Although I don't love most of what I see, most people don't even know how to use it for that. It looks very generic. I see it immediately says AI to me, which is actually putting distance between me and the connection that you wanted to make with me. But that's okay. Go faster, let it go, let it do this thing. But there's so much more. If you were really intense and intentional about, no, I'm building this outcome. Let AI tell me 12 different ways to get to this outcome. I need to be at 100K or 10K a month by the end of this year. Darlin told me some stuff. I done figured out some stuff, and I talked to all these people. Put it in the chat GPT of choice, not chat GPT, GPT of choice. Now I bet you'll get something that you hadn't thought of. But for whatever reason, we don't do that. We leave it in the abstraction. And other people who are taking a weekend and learning these tools are going to run faster than you. Just like people who sat there and figured out how to get on social media when it was still new. Who figured out the internet years before you really started leveraging it for your business. And every other disruption. This is that. I'm telling you, this is that. I don't know anybody that's really having this conversation at this level. We're not just learning AI just to learn it. We're not just doing it because it's a new thing. No, that's not what I mean. What if you had a secret weapon? I am your secret weapon, by the way. If you listen to me talk, you already got an advantage, okay? But what if you could leverage these tools and like time travel, just like, last month I was over here, now I'm over here. What if you could learn instead of having to hire 10 people to 10 years later? What if you could speed up? How would that change your life and your business? You know what I mean? That's what I want for us. We don't have time to do all this other stuff.
I am thinking, because you said to use our posting as data, and I don't have tons of engagement on my stuff, but I do see, the views and people's click rates and all of that. So I'm finding, against my will, that certain other videos are getting more views than others. So I'm not sure if I need to be paying attention to the views more.
Yeah, the views count. Yeah, that's a data point for sure.
Because I'm like, they're looking at it, but they're not actually, hitting the like button or the save button on everyone. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure that out. But I'm excited about getting my YouTube going. After my event this weekend, I'm gonna take time to figure out Opus clips and use that to help me create clips and like a long form video so I can actually put it up. So I'm excited about that. Do you, should I do it through Substack instead, or should you
do what?
The video. I know you can do videos now.
Yeah, you can play around with it. They have a lot of new features on Substack and
I noticed
the video, I'm very excited.
And a lot of people I see are going live now, so it's kind of like YouTube, but
yeah. So you can totally do that and then pull down the video and then make sure it's also
I'll do both
on YouTube.
places, maybe.
Exactly.
Okay. And then
I would still archive it on YouTube. Yeah.
Archive. Oh, you mean if
after you record the video, let's say you did it on Substack because you're building community primarily there.
So I pre-record the video so that I can cut out anything.
Well, then put it in both places.
Sensitive.
Yeah, you can put it in both places. That's what I would do.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
That's a great
idea.
I'll
be working on
that.
that.
Substack is.
But I noticed that there's more views, or when my face is on the camera, or
absolutely.
Yeah. So
absolutely. So yeah, that's data for sure. For sure.
I have a question about the type of person, like when you mentioned that certain people, when YouTube was hot, they got on, and then certain people just kind of did not miss that bandwagon. And I guess I was that in between. I was on it when it was like loading was 3 hours to load one video from home, unless you were at a tech place. And and then, of course, like I said, I was at the beginning of, what's that thing called again? I forget what it's called. But from TikTok when I was living in Asia. But what makes the person, what is the brain type of the person that sees this and says, okay, this is going to be the next big wave?
They don't know. They don't know necessarily. They don't. I know where the question is going. And I'm totally locked in with you. This is what I'm telling you. When you are a farmer, and or following your intuition, locked in, you don't know what's on the other side of your behaviors. You just know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm going to do it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm uncomfortable. I'm going to do it anyway. This is weird. I'm doing it anyway. I'm getting frustrated. Take a break, come back, do it again. And every day I'm coming back, I'm learning. But it's not just, I'm doing it, I'm trying it, I'm persistent. I've said, no. The 1% better, you have to put both pieces together. So that means I'm studying other people on this platform. I took a class or watched some, I'm studying to learn how to get better at this thing. I am talking to other people who are doing this thing. Most people that I know who have millions of followers have a community of people who have millions of followers. So they're trading secrets back and forth. They know about tools and stuff that other people don't know because they're talking to one another. They're building. He'll get on his platform and he'll get on his show. When he had 100,000 and he had 50, then he helped the other one to get, they shared audiences. They tried different ideas together. So the 1% better will require you to not just keep doing it. Well, I'm doing it. No, but I'm learning. I'm getting better. They're investing in tools, and a lot of them have coaches and different things, so they can get better. So it's getting better plus staying persistent and following your intuition. That's what gets you on the other side of it. Because you don't know. I mean, some people were first to think of a platform that didn't blow up. I can't think of one right now, but you know what I'm saying? Those exist too. It's not that. It's the skills that you learn. It's the person that you become by doing the work. And you might end up on a totally different platform after that, but it's the locked in. It's the, I know I keep thinking about this. I keep seeing this. So now I'm going to do something with it. I don't even know what this is. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it because I know I'm supposed to be doing it. So I do it. And the next day I do it again. Then I learn something and I do it again. Oh, why are you doing that? That's silly. I'm doing it anyway. This is ridiculous. You could be doing something different. I'm doing it anyway because that's what intuition said. I'm getting better and I'm learning and I'm reading and I'm studying and I'm going. And all this information now, literally, except for mining and shipping, there's probably very few other examples of that. You can literally learn anything on the internet right now today. But that requires a level of intensity. Some of this is research. Some of it you got to go a little further than your basic first two pages of a Google search. You know what I'm saying? You can use GPT though as your research assistant. And it will pull studies and research and point you in directions. I read a story, and I know it's true because I was like, this can't be real, but it was. GPT is not going to tell you the whole answer. But this man had a dog. The dog had some kind of tumor. They said the dog was going to die. And y'all know how people are about their dogs. And so he took him to the vet. He took him everywhere. He had surgery. They couldn't do it. Nothing they could do. Dog had 6 months to live, something like this. He goes into GPT and says, whatever was wrong with the dog and this. He gave it parameters, though. I'm gonna pull it up because y'all think I sound crazy. This is a real story. He gave it some parameters and told it, okay, this is what I need you to be. I need you to play this role, and this is what we do now. And it said, well, based on that, have you looked into this? So whatever the next thing was, he said, I don't know what that is. So then he went and found, well, this university is doing a study, and this one is doing this, and this one's doing that. And he said, he went and called the people at the university, found somebody he can get on the phone with, and they said, yeah, well, we're still working on that, but what we do know is, something about this. So then he put that back in the thing. And it said, okay, well, with that piece of information, you probably want to consider this. So he goes and looks for that. He found some resource with that, got some more information that he couldn't have found any other way. He didn't know about it. Then he called somebody in Australia somewhere, came back, put that back in the GPT. Bottom line, he found somebody to make this like specialty thing that he gave the dog a shot. He got his vet to agree to do it. Put the thing right into the tumor. It was like specially made because of the dog's DNA and something about what kind of cancer it was and whatever. And the dog was perfectly fine. Here it is. A man reversed his dog's cancer with AI. No degree, no lab, no team. Called mast cell cancer is what it's called. Dog had 6 months to live. Had surgery, chemo, immunotherapy. Nothing worked. Vets couldn't figure it out. The owner said, oh, no. So he goes into literally ChatGPT. Wasn't no special thing, the free one. He asked it 2 targeted questions about her exact diagnosis. So ChatGPT tells him about something about genomic sequencing. So that leads him to this specialty tool that they use, but nobody knows what that is. Most people stop right there. He goes and researches what this thing is. It has a name brand. Then that leads to a specialized, personalized mRNA vaccine that was built specifically for this dog's cancer and a DNA. And they got the vet to put it in there, and 75% tumor reduction in 1 month.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Wow.
So just by knowing how to ask these tools questions, you know what I'm saying? So how do we do that? Number 1, the universal stems from the specific. Start with a specific problem. So he didn't prompt the thing and say, how do I cure cancer in my dog? Because it's going to say, cancer has no cure, and I don't know what to tell you. Would you like me to help plan your dog's funeral? Like, that's what it's going to say. But he didn't ask that. He said a very specific question about her very specific exact diagnosis. If you give it vague prompts, it's going to give you vague answers. Okay. So that's why I keep telling you, put all this data, the exact language that people are saying. I'm telling y'all the answer to the test. This is why we're recording, people, not because we're about to do something nefarious with the recordings. No. So you can take it and transcribe it. Now you have the exact language. Somebody in the dollhouse had a breakthrough when they realized they kept saying whatever phrase, but when they talked to the people in the office, the decision makers, they were using a very specific phrase, and they kept saying the same phrase over and over and over again. So instead of saying the smart corporate one that she wanted to say, she started saying it exactly like they said it every single time. She got a 100% close rate of them asking for more information just by changing that one phrase. So the more specific the inputs, the more specific the language, the more specific, the more constraints you put, the better results you're going to get. And it's going to help you show up and go faster in whatever it is that you do in the world. Okay. So step 2, treat everything that comes out of the GPT like a next step. Like, we're not looking for this to just, because a lot of you guys have done this, and then here we go again. This is the AI equivalent of writing a business plan. Starting your business, and first thing you want to do is write a business plan. You're going to write all this stuff. You're going to take 2 weeks. You're going to do all this research. You're going to go and Google what's my market size, and You're going to do all of this. You're going to get some charts. You're going to do a SWOT analysis. You're going to make up some numbers, some projections from somewhere. You're going to pay somebody to go on Fiverr, do you some, and then boom, and you got this document, and it's going to go in the back of your, in your file folder on your computer, and you're never going to use it. There's no life in that. So how many of you guys have gone on ChatGPT and said, give me a marketing plan for the next, give me a content calendar for 6 months so I could do, and it's give you all this, and then you didn't do nothing with it. That's not what we're doing.
I've created a few content maps and things like that. But what I realized is I was using data that I was collecting from clients, like, this is the language they use, this is, my voice, establishing all of that first. Helped a lot, I feel like, because then I was like, okay, now research Reddit and tell me, the top things people search for, and let's implement that into it, and what kind of products would these kind of people want, and am I going in the right direction? Like, let's research it and make sure between my data, its data, and then the things that I take notes from you as well. So I'll copy and paste that, and I'll be like, okay, let's add this into our strategy and see, I'm trying to rework it constantly, basically.
That's it. So it has to be a living, breathing document. So treat every output that it gives you as a stepping stone, not as a complete document. All right. So it gives you something you didn't think of. Now we take that and we add it with something else. Exactly. That's exactly right. So, this dog story, the ChatGPT didn't solve everything. It told him something next. He had to call some people. Some stuff is not online. So you got to go talk to humans, do all that. And then you refine it. Okay. So what you can do is put as much specific, input in as you can in there. Then it gives you an output. Then you can say, what should my next step be based on this? It's going to tell you something to go do it. Another thing you can do is put different tools together. So there are some generic tools, we can kind of have this conversation. And then there's some very specific tools that are also AI powered, but they're specific to, whatever you're trying to do. So if you really want your design work to be handled by AI and you don't want to hire a designer, then you might have to invest in some design specific AI tools instead of using Gemini for all of your graphics and wondering why it looks, basic. Like if you are selling, if design is a big part of how you sell, if it doesn't matter, then fine. You know what I'm saying? But if you need something more than generic, then you have to have a specific tool. So he used a very specific sequencing tool that was also AI powered, but he wouldn't have known about it had ChatGPT not told him about it. But 99% of what he was able to do with the tool, he went online to learn how to use the thing. What does he know about gene sequencing? but he didn't have to. But he put the tools together to get the output he was looking for. So we need to be open to that. Some of you are going to find business opportunities in doing that, because if you can't find an AI tool to do something, you can go tell your AI to help you build the tool, and then everybody else who needs that tool, you can tell it to them. I need something. I thought it was simple. I hadn't found it yet. I'm like, I'm vegan. I would like something that tastes like this, but vegan. Go. And it's not very good at that. It's not very good at that. So where is that database? Do I have to build it myself? Vegan Ascending, coming soon. You'll be surprised, the simplest things. This is how, again, when the internet comes on, social media comes online, when all these things come online, all these opportunities, think about millions and millions of billions of people now switching their whole self over here. They're all going to need things that don't exist yet. How come some of us aren't building those things?
That's a good question.
We can do it. It could be us. This is what I'm talking about. That's how you get millions and millions of dollars.
I did recently go to it was a virtual conference for Women's Month.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think, Lovable.
Yep.
And it was like a panel, and they were talking about all the things you can do with it. So it got me thinking, basically along the same lines that you're thinking, creating an app or something that could help.
Yes.
So I like that idea.
Yes.
Yeah, because it wasn't this easy to create an app before.
You know what I'm saying? Why we could do it. But see, people just want to jump to the app. They used to want to spend $200,000 on a developer. We're past that point now. Everybody can build an app. But what still nobody's doing is what I teach you in the dollhouse, which you guys are doing the work of. If you physically, and I'm telling you this, I'm serious, because if you come up with a great app idea, you should do it. Physically, literally speaking to at least, I'm saying 50, hundreds of human beings who are having a similar, challenge, similar profile and all that, getting exact language. What are they feeling? What have they tried before? All of that, like all this data I'm talking about that and then feeding it in and turning it into tools that help you have conversations, whether that's groups, whether that's coaching calls, whether that's, templates and things, and then using that with those folks in social media content, and using that with those folks and seeing what they like and what they watch and what they, all of that. Because by the way, the views matter, because I think I say this at least once a week, but we are in the age of the observer, and the people that I literally don't go to bed without checking what they posted on YouTube that day, 9 times out of 10, I do not click heart, like, rarely even save it. But I'm all the way locked in.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But because it's like TV. I mean, we still have a mindset of just like, we're just watching.
Right.
But you can still gather data from all of that. Because remember, it goes audience, community, customer. So we need to know what the audience is thinking, what they like, what keeps them coming back. If you have a show every week and they keep coming back, we want to know what they're watching and what they like. So yeah. But if you do this work and you build a community around solving this problem that you solve and the way you solve it and all the manual ways that we're building this thing, this puts you in prime position to now have an app. Because you, unlike somebody who just builds it in isolation, you will have an engine that constantly brings you people that need that tool. So you'll be better positioned to monetize an app versus somebody who's just building in a lab somewhere.
Right. That makes sense, because you've already formed some of those relationships, or at least they recognize you.
Yeah, you're recognizing the space. So this is how money is made, guys. This is how we go from idea to asset. And now these tools are just helping us go faster. So another thing to consider when you're using AI, put the different tools together, right? Don't just try to use one tool for everything. Use specific tools for specific tasks. Another thing to think about, don't just take the first answer that it gives you. If it gives you generic output, say no. And tell it to be more specific, give it more constraints, give it more context about your situation, and you'll get better results. Okay? So sometimes round 3, 4, 5, 6, however long you got to go back and forth, but really treat it like like a thought partner, like an employee in your team, on your team. Okay, so once it tells you to do something, it gives you an understanding. You sometimes gonna have to go back and go do some research that you can't find online, or you got to go talk to somebody that you can't reach any other way than the old school way. Take real world action. Okay, and you could totally do this for like the free version or paying like $20 a month. And you can do 97% of what I just described. And you'll be well on your way to, going faster than everybody else. Just by thinking differently about what does that even mean? I'm using AI for my business. And it will one day probably include, I don't know about the robots or whatever that is, but I'm talking about right now. We could be on the other side of $100,000, $500,000 before we have to even think about all that.
Should we be keeping a list or some kind of document for our AI strategy?
I would. In my Asana, I have a list. It's like it says study this. That's the name of the project or whatever. Mm-hmm. And when I see a link or I see a class or something on YouTube, I'm like, or even on Substack, it's a lot of good AI content on Substack and X. I will copy and paste the link and put it in there. And then on my my elephant diet, right? Once a week or at least twice a month, I will have like a 1 or 2 day session where I'm just literally like learning some AI thing. Like let me pull up one of these tutorials that I saw, or, some email that came to me.
Okay, I see.
Go and study it.
For you to go back to. Do you have a list of your current AI tools or like what I use? Your business uses? Is that something we need?
Yeah, I think so. I touched on that a little bit in our mastery course, but yeah, the idea of, because I didn't even have Claude downloaded on my computer until I really got focused, and I'm like, there's a whole extra set of things that Claude can do when you use the desktop version versus so like that. So
is it Claude Code?
Yeah, Code and Cowork.
Okay,
but it's kind of the same thing. That's what I mean. But
gotcha.
You can learn that in a weekend. But yeah, most of it, the real unlocking of it, you need the $20 version and you need to use the desktop version.
Okay. Well, that's good to know because I'm paying the other GPT. So I'm like, I might as well switch.
Yeah.
I just am doing so much with it. I wanted to make sure I had those brand documents first.
Pull them down. Exactly.
And then I can, I have them on my GitHub now. So I'm like, I've got to separate myself.
Exactly. So, one step at a time with that. But yes, the more you can either, have it structured and set up on your computer, or like you said, at least have a list. I organize my phone apps by task or by category. So like all my social media apps are on one screen, like that. So you can have all your AI, like that, if that makes sense to you.
All right. That's smart. Yeah. Cause I do have a social media, bubble. So I can, I have a business one as well. So I guess I could add Otter, and all that stuff in there. Okay.
Yeah, open scripts, especially if you have a bunch of different, some people don't.
Right. I'm testing out ones. So some are not concrete.
Yeah.
But also, I probably should have some kind of list somewhere.
It makes it easier. Spreadsheet. This is a good use for spreadsheet.
Right.
So, yep. So, any other questions about that? I don't know if I plan to talk about that today, but I do think it's very critical for us right now to start thinking about these tools differently and just hurry up. Like we don't have money problems. We just need to speed up. And things that weren't possible before are totally possible right now. Things that required a budget of $10,000 or $100,000 is like $20 right now. So the question is, what do we do? And nobody else might be having this conversation with you, but I am. So next time you think about, I want to do this or do that, just take a step. What if I could do it? What if I could actually figure out how to do it? You could do it. Definitely could do it. So any more thoughts before I go on? I guess I'll give y'all 30 more minutes, 25. The machine that we're building, our business, right, is something that by the time we get all this done and start using our tools and being intentional and, speeding up and doing all of that, we could start to predict how much money we're going to make every day. $200, $300, $500 a day. You know how much money that is? Like, come on. Like $500 a day is like $15,000 a month. Like, what are we talking about? And how serious, depending on how serious you are about front loading this and really getting this part right, because it's not an infinite list of things that you have to do, right? It's a finite list. If you get all the way through and get it working, go back and tweak. Okay, this is working, tweak, tweak, tweak.
I'm trying to think of it like that as well, because I'm like, sometimes it feels like a lot, but it's like, you only have to do this for a set amount of time, and then it'll be working for you.
You're in there. You can do it. So, and this is from knowledge we already have, from skills you've already developed, things you've already learned how to do. We just got to build it and put it in order. The other thing I want you to remember specifically, Micaiah, I don't know why I keep coming back to this, but the views, because what we want, like you have a product, by the time I finish, you're going to be charging $5,000, $10,000 per contract or whatever. Okay. So you don't need 200,000 customers.
Right. And I'm looking at the path that we created now. I'm like, I only need a certain amount.
You know what I mean? You're fine. And it can be that your profile on social media, like if you go and have a in-person meeting and you do a lot of networking and building in the real world, a lot of times your social is just confirmation. Like if I go and look you up after meeting you in this great event and somebody referred you, then I go and see, oh my gosh, she has this great content.
Mm-hmm.
It's just checking the box of credibility, so I can go ahead and give you this budget for a 2-year contract. Yeah. And that's really the way to think about it. And so that's why I work so hard on the social media aspect of this, because I know we're so used to thinking about
the thought leadership part,
but it's about thought leadership.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's why I'm excited about the video too, because it's like, they'll actually, I don't know how to figure it out, but I'm gonna figure it out.
It's gonna get different. It's like, hold on,
talking her through. That's right. This problem that a bunch of different people are searching for on Reddit.
You'll see, it's gonna get different really fast when you do that. So yeah. So when you're thinking about your business and what we could do on autopilot and repeat, does everybody on this phone have something that you could sell that doesn't require you to move a finger and just they can hit a button and you give them the product digitally and you get paid digitally? Probably not everybody. You need that. You need that. I don't know if it's a book, it's a course, it's a wellness routine, it's a detox guide. We need something. Cookbook.
So I was talking to my GPT. I have a template on my website right now. Mm-hmm. But I was talking to GPT about figuring out a strategy, because I do want to eventually sell some kind of course. So it was saying that first, basically we were reevaluating my pipeline of like where people come in, where to send them to, depending on because I have resources on Substack already. So like making that kind of plan, it's got me excited, because it's like, okay, so these are the next 3 products we need to make.
There you go.
With that research that we've done, and next step is to figure out how to create this next one and how to start promoting it too on social, because I have not been promoting the first one.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? So it compounds. I'm telling you, and it gets better and it gets easier and it gets better. It's like, okay, I have this tool, I haven't been using it. So 1% better says, let me start actively making sure that's my call to action. Let me start intentionally driving people to this, tool or whatever.
And right. And I was thinking, I think I was stopping myself, because you said, we want to give value and we don't always want to sell, but I guess I went to the other extreme where I'm never.
Yeah, you got to mix it up. You got to mix it in.
Promoting the free things.
So yeah. So we want all of the above. So it's like, drop me a note. Tell me what you think. Go to get the free thing and then give me your email. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's like, you need to go and get this guide. What are we doing?
Right.
And the more you're posting, sometimes it'll be like, I'm having this event, come to the thing. So you always have a call to action. And then, of course, you have all your links in the bio or whatever. But yeah,
right.
You just want to be planting all those seeds throughout. So y'all listen, I'm going to tell you a secret. Well, y'all already know the first part of the secret. I hate social media. I got over it. It's whatever. But y'all know this. Okay. So for years and years and years, had a stalker, whatever. I'm not trying to get on social and do all of that. I still have one. They're not on here today. Anyway, ain't nobody trying to do all that. But I was like, whatever, I'm going to do it. My fiance is like, you need to do it. We're doing it. So cool. So I started with the live. Why? Because I've got my long form. This is the best way for me to replicate what was happening organically in the place that should not be named. I talk, do the thing. I get all the instant feedback. I know what people are listening for, get the questions. I got it all. It's all right here. Okay, cool. Now let's start chopping that up and start putting it on, different formats, and even my YouTube to be, the edited kind, the intentional episode kind of YouTube. And let me tell you what I'm about to do. I'm going to give you my exact strategy. And some of y'all gonna sit here and listen to what I'm telling you today, March the 24th, 2026. At day 83 of this 100-day challenge at 3:12 p.m. Eastern time. I'm telling you what I'm about to go do. When I finish running this play, not having to do with none of y'all. I'm talking about brand new people, strangers just met now. I'm about to go make $100,000. And I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it. You can copy this play if you want to. This is what I'm about to do. You need 3 parts, 3 things, or there's 3 things that I'm going to use. You can substitute out how you want to do it, but this is what I'm telling you. I'm using YouTube, my Stand Store. What's Stand Store? That's where you can buy digital products. And my school. Y'all know my school's Dollhouse 2.0. I already have that. YouTube, I already have that. Actually, I have my Stand Store already, but I don't know what's going on. I got to recalibrate something over there. 3 things. That's it. You can add all 3. You can start with 1 and add all 3. But anyway, this is how I'm going to build a loop. Okay. This is my machine I'm about to build. Okay. Because remember, you don't need 1 million subscribers. You don't need all that. You need a video that's powerful. I told you how to do that. An offer. And somebody who engaged enough to click on it. Okay. That's it. So now, we know what you're selling. We've been through all of that. You talk to enough humans. You know what they want, why they want it, all that kind of stuff. Okay. You want to just meet people exactly where they are. Any content that you're making, if you actually want them to take an action from what they're making, you got to speak to exactly where they are. What's the best way to know that? Take conversations. Why do people love your product? Why do people need your product? What are people struggling with? What are the problems that they're facing that only your product can solve? And that becomes the hook, the basis of your content. So in my video, in my system, rather, all of these conversations we've been having, all the things that y'all are like, ooh, yes, yeah, I need that, me too, because da 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 da. This becomes a list of, I could do 50 videos right now based on the things that I know people are dealing with, struggling with, wanting to know more about, trying to figure out in their business, right? That's my videos. So as long as you speak it to where they are, they're going to want more. They're going to lean in and going to engage. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Then you have an offer that takes them to a step that's a solution. You can do this, okay? So now, we're not going to talk ourselves out of it. We're not going to do all that. We're not worried about the metrics and stuff like that. We're not worried about that. We don't care who's watching. We want the right person to watch it and click it. Okay? So better video content, better topics for your content, more refined. Better offers, more refined and specific. Is that the word of the year? Specific. and then a loop to close it all, to close the gap. Okay. So we don't need to be focused at this part. We're not worried about how we look on camera. Is my background professional enough? Do I need some lighting? I got to get, all these stuff. So I think we worked through all of that during this 100-day challenge. Okay. We are putting the system together. So here we go. Number 1, YouTube. And I'm not even going to get into the thumbnails and the titles and stuff. We talked about that a little bit. But think about this. YouTube is a search engine. And while, if the world is moving to where we're not searching anymore, but right now, 90+% of people are still searching, right? YouTube is actually the second largest search engine in the world. Not Instagram, YouTube. And it's owned by the first largest search engine in the world, Google. So when I type something on Google or YouTube, if I type on Google, it's going to give me YouTube videos as the answer to my question. How do I get more clients as a freelancer? How do I start my business in 2026? How can I use AI to make some money? What do I do when my team's not performing? How do I find investors for my business? YouTube is searching the entire content library for things that are most relevant, most engaging. So if you answer that question and people keep watching it, YouTube is going to show it to more and more people who are asking the same question. And so is Google. So that means we don't actually have to go viral. I actually don't care how many people watch your video. Our job is to be the best at answering specific questions that people are asking, the conversation they're having in their head. And so the nuance is we got to get great at knowing what the conversation they're having in their head. Okay. So you can do it. So I do a long form video, 8 minutes, 30 minutes. Y'all know how I talk, however long my format is going to turn into. But the long form is key because in the video, your face on it is even better because this is where trust is built. This is actually where conversion happens. People watch you for 15 minutes or they come back every couple of days and they're watching videos from you. They don't feel like strangers by the end of it. They know your jokes. They know your personality. They know how you show up. They feel like they know you. I like doing this on Substack. I mean, of course, you could do it on YouTube and people can comment and stuff, but I like it on Substack. It's like a microcosm in terms of going live. Because if I hit live on Substack, which I haven't even started yet, I'm going to do my news broadcast over there while you were watching Diddy. I'm going to tell you the news that nobody reported and all of that and what we're supposed to be doing about it. Because y'all didn't know that April 1st, they about to, the bank's about to start buying U.S. treasuries, which has a direct impact on the value of the U.S. dollar. It's basically over with. But nobody had time to talk about that because, Jay-Z or something, whatever's in the news right now, celebrity news.
Well, I do have a question, Doll. Mm-hmm. As far as investing, mm-hmm. I don't know if this is an individual conversation, but I'm trying to figure out how much is needed to set aside or, from what's coming in for the investing. Because I already know what I'm going to be investing in.
You mean like you're talking about assets, cash flow? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Let's talk offline. Let's talk offline.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If you know what you're going to be investing in, let's talk offline.
So I already know.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Basically, what you've been telling us to do.
Okay. Because there are ways to do that if that's the route you're going to where mm-hmm. I use Uphold, but find you an account where it's like I still have a debit card, I still can swipe and kind of be normal, right. But also it's really this other thing.
I think I was talking to Tahira and I've signed up for what she recommended. And it seems like it does all the things. I'm still exploring it. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm probably going to use that. But I'll look into it. You said Uphold?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like, how you get a cash back on a debit card or credit card?
Mm-hmm.
My cash back is in XRP.
Oh, okay, nice.
Just little simple stuff like that. So things that allow you to kind of have a foot in both worlds is kind of the next best transition that you can make.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
But we could talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so long form, sweet spot, people feel like they know you. I need you to be doing mini TED Talks, basically, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, I gave a TED Talk, went viral. I mean, this is how I got here, y'all. So people still want to do short form, cool. I'm telling you, long form works. This is how I'm building it. So they feel like they know you, cool. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. I'm just telling you. So can you teach a recipe online? Can you not rambling on for 17 hours, but can you lead me in a workout every morning? Can you be a part of my morning routine? Can you tell me a tea or something that I need to be making? Can you teach me a herb and, go through the thing in 15 minutes and whatever? Now you can do it in 5 minutes, of course, but 8 minutes to 30 minutes is the sweet spot. This is science, okay? Now, what goes in the video? We teach one thing, one specific thing, one genuinely useful thing, okay? Not an overview of your whole story and your whole business, your whole life, and all type of thing. The one thing. Now, you could build community around this. I'm talking about the engine that's going to drive sales, okay? One thing that the person who had that question in their mind came to the video to learn. You teach it all the way through. You give examples. You use language that they can follow, not technical language. How to build a warm list of investors for your startup. How to fill in the blank, y'all, of questions. You should know these questions that your people have. How to do a water fast and not have whatever problem people normally have when they do water fast. I don't know nothing about it, but shout out to Mojo. You know what I'm saying? How to detox and something. How to make a Sunday dinner, grandma style, all plant-based. Whatever. Okay? Teach it all the way through. Language that they use. Within the first 2 minutes, somewhere in the video, let's say it's an 8-minute video, somewhere in like the first half, you say, by the way, I have either your free course, a free guide, or your course, or a resource that goes deeper and explains all this. The link is in the thing. Go get it. Okay. And get back to the class that you teach. 30 minutes, 8 minutes, 15 minutes, however long.
You're giving me so many ideas.
I know. Thank you for being here. Okay. So boom. So you say it early, like the first 2-3 minutes of the video. Okay. So remember, I taught y'all this, so don't forget what we already went over. The title is some format of the hooks that we learned, and it's answering a question that people have in their head. The first thing you say as soon as the thing hit is not, hi guys, welcome back. My name is Doll, and blah, blah, blah. No, the first thing you need to say is what they came to this video for. This video is going to teach you how to say the hook again. Okay. About 2-3 minutes into talking, then you say, by the way, I got this free guide or resource or thing that you can click, go ahead and get. It's right over here in the description. Okay, cool. You go ahead on, finish the thing. You make sure you say that the URL if you can, because people are listen to YouTube like a podcast sometimes. They're not always listening or not always watching. But anyway, then towards the end, you say it again. Same thing. And remember, I got this guide that's going to get you together. Just go in the description and get the thing, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So early and late, you say your calls to action. Boom. Now, the rest of the video, pulling back with our GPT of choice. Go in there today when you get off of here. Tell me, this is the prompt. Tell me 10 steps of learning how to, and whatever the question or the topic was. And let it tell you, it's going to tell you, break down the 10 steps. Then take the first step it gave you and say, okay, what are the 10 steps to learning this? Let it do that 10 times. When you finish, you now have 110 video topics. Each little piece of how to do something, that's what you teach in a video. 8 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Not that long. You need to think of your videos, your content strategy like a vending machine. The more specific you are, because I went to the vending machine because I'm hungry. I look in there. Okay, it's Fritos. Well, we don't eat that. We need a vegan. Baby, we need a vegan vending machine. But what's the vegan version of Fritos? Vegan Snickers? Is vegan cheese puffs? Is whatever, vegan cinnamon buns. All these things are very, very specific. And they're going to pick one of those is what they're looking for that day. So you need a video. When I want vegan Coca-Cola, that needs to be one of the options. So now when you think about your content strategy, you're not just, I don't know, what can I do? I want to go viral. No, you want to find all the specific things that any human might be looking for in that any given time. And you got a video for that. Now, I said YouTube. Why am I saying YouTube? Because Instagram is not built for that. Instagram is not built for me to go and search some specific topic. So it's not that you can't build a business off of Instagram. It is that Instagram is not designed to do what I'm telling you to do. We want her to make some money, right? So let's go where the people are who are looking for a solution, which is on YouTube. And answer one specific thing per video so they can click that and go ahead on. Yes.
Quick question. I have the content. I know what I can put on YouTube, and I have, things that I have already been brainstorming when I do actually launch. But my dilemma is I'm trying to figure out what my resource is going to be. I haven't figured that part out yet.
Did we do a cookbook or a recipe guide or anything yet?
No, we haven't.
Because that's what it should be if you ask me. I don't know, child. Why wouldn't we do that? Or the recipe club, some version of how to do this at the house.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or when people are transitioning into a plant-based lifestyle, maybe there's some things they need to know or think about, or you need to restock your pantry. You can't really cook plant-based without certain things. Maybe it's a pantry guide or something. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I've been trying to hone in on that resource guide because I've gotten some things from other people in my journey, and it's just been
they're
lacking,
not good.
If I'm
they're
being
not good.
honest.
There you go. So what's lacking? What's lacking? Right? Fill in the gaps in your industry. What are other people just not hitting on? Most of those things you download is like, what is this garbage? Like, we're not doing garbage. That's not what I'm suggesting at all, right? It needs to be life-changing. It needs to be something that they want to come back and read and share with somebody else. And I use it as a resource every week. Like the people that I'm talking about that are going crazy on LinkedIn and ChatGPT that's making $1.2 million on LinkedIn and all this kind of stuff. She's also on YouTube, by the way. But the things that they share are so freaking good, like so specific, and it's like, first do this, then do this, and you're doing it and it's working. You're like, oh my God, it's working. It needs to be something like amazing, not like boo. So somewhere at the intersection of what are your frequently asked questions? I would do an exercise tonight or this weekend and try to make a list of like 20 of the most commonly asked questions that people ask you who are considering being plant-based or just coming into that lifestyle or trying to get their family to eat better and stuff like that. What are the questions that they ask, right? Go through the past resources you've gotten that you had complaints about that you thought were lacking and put some of those notes in there. I tried this and most people in the industry are doing this, but I don't like it because this. It seems to be missing. Like, put your own analysis in there and then ask your GPT of choice, help me, give me 20 ideas for a free resource guide that's going to be emotionally impactful. That's going to, people are going to line up to get it. It's really going to, change their whole perspective and really build stronger bond with my audience when they download it. Not something generic, something that's going to really resonate with them, and put the problem language and your worldview and all the other stuff, put all of that in there and let it start to help you generate some ideas.
I would buy a cookbook from you.
Girl, I've been waiting on the cookbook.
I would watch a video if you taught us how to make that lasagna.
See
or
what
the
I'm
banana
saying?
pudding. I would be.
What is going on? I don't know.
I would subscribe immediately.
It's a lot of gatekeeping going on. Not you, other people in your field. I'm like, well, doggone it. Like, I can't make it like you make it. I'm just trying to understand. How did you do this with no meat? Like, can I know?
Right.
Can I know that part? How about that? So there's a lot of space in that, and I'm telling you that your plant-based brethren and sisterin on Instagram, including some of these placeholders who in 5 years ain't nobody gonna remember their name and they're gonna know your name. They gatekeep.
Oh yeah. I'm very aware of that.
And it's actually not okay.
Secret society.
It's not okay. It's not okay. Let me tell you something.
I feel like I'm on the outside.
This is not okay. I want you to think about Wolfgang, what's his name? And Guy Fieri and Paula Deen before she got canceled, and all Emerald Lagasse and all these people. They told you everything. Julia Child, they told you everything.
And I watch all their shows, like even if I'm not gonna make it.
Listen, we are here for it. So can somebody stop with the gatekeeping and the plant-based? How about you?
Subscribe.
I would love to know how somebody's making all the seitan. Nobody won't tell me. Only thing I get is some white people online, and it's nasty. This is not what I just ate at the restaurant I just left. Won't nobody tell me because see, it's the mindset. It's like, well, if I tell you how I made it, then you won't buy it from me.
Then you won't buy it from me.
This is why everybody in the industry is broke. Sorry. Y'all know I don't mean no disrespect.
That's not a factor. So you're saying that's not a barrier. I shouldn't necessarily, besides of course proprietary information, I shouldn't hold back on doing things like my favorite or my most popular idea.
You saw
it.
Look, she's telling you. You saw it happen when you posted your green recipe.
Yeah.
And I promise you, most people will go and make that. It's still not going to taste like yours. I'm sure you got another sprinkle. I know you got a sprinkle. I know you do. I'm not a chef. I don't play one on TV. But my potato salad to this day, y'all heard the story all the time. 89-year-old women can't walk. They get up from the living room. You know, you got to carry the plate to they stand up. They come in there, they whisper, who to the person, who made this? Then they walk over, take them 10 minutes. Baby, now what? What did you put in this? You know what I'm saying? And I'll never tell. Yeah. I'll never tell. I'm not telling you. It's one secret ingredient. You know what I'm saying? But I can teach you how to make potato salad.
Right.
That's what you do.
So I just don't give my secret ingredient, but I can tell you everything else.
Yes. Yeah. Because people want techniques. People want to understand. Like again, the mindset is you can make food that tastes like this without meat and dairy and soy and things that are going to put you in an early grave. And people are like, how, Sway?
Right. And if you I sign up to random people's recipes all the time because I'm looking for something different to cook. I love to cook. So like even on Substack, I signed up for this lady's account, and I didn't even hear about her, but I liked the recipe, and I was like, okay, let me save this, let me subscribe and see what else she has, is going to push to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go, girl. Just don't hold back now. Just find it. I'm telling you, because you're gonna bypass all these people. They play too much, and they try to steal people's stuff, and they just playing. They play too much. A lot of them are using beyond and impossible, and that's why they don't want to tell you, because this stuff they putting in there is not healthy either.
Right.
But who am I? I'm not a chef.
Even the thing you said about the gluten-free, like how you make your pans gluten-free. Mm-hmm. Like the options that you use, like a little story about
just
that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like put me on game. Like let me know. That's what you do. That's what you do.
Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Absolutely. Go for it, Latasha.
I was just going to ask, hi, everyone, about because of the mind set shift that I'm working in, why do something that's related to the work that I'm doing, like how to stop feeling guilty in 5 minutes? I mean, or am I actually looking at some of the things that I have, which I have to plug into journals, t-shirts, mugs, and things like that I don't have currently. I just have my books. So am I doing things like that which require a mindset shift?
You could put a icon that if everybody who's going through that transition that you help them through need to do. Number 1, stop feeling guilty. Number 2, whatever. Stop supporting your kids financially. Number 3, I don't know, whatever that is. And then you could have a little exercise for each one, something like that. And that could be something that you give away in exchange for an email address, right? If you're talking about the free resource, if you're talking about the video, absolutely, that's a great topic. How to, flip a switch and just shut down the guilt. Anytime you start feeling guilty, I'm going to tell you an exercise today that's going to help you snap out of it in less than 5 minutes. That's a great video topic. Absolutely.
Awesome.
And then you send them to the books and the other guys that you already have, journals.
Okay. Thank you.
So I'm posting a minimum once a week. Y'all know I really want to do it every day, but once or twice a week, y'all. You don't have to go crazy initially. Just rebuilding a library. YouTube's algorithm's going to do what it does and all of that. But ultimately, the sooner you get to 40, 50 videos is more powerful than only having 2 things in your vending machine, right? So the more you post, the better. So number 1, YouTube. You could do this, with public speaking, with live events. The problem is that you got to physically go somewhere. People got to physically come to you versus if you get on YouTube, they can watch you 2 a.m. You could be asleep and the machine could still be running. So part 2 of this is my stand store. Some people say, well, why can't I use Shopify? You can use whatever you want to use. Gumroad, okay, fine. I'm saying stand store because it was literally built for this, built by Gary Vee's team for what I'm saying. But there are many others that do something similar, okay? But it's simple, it's clean, it's optimized for mobile. You don't have to get into all of that. And people can just buy what you're selling. Okay, so this is like the little glass window where they push the buttons and they can see the products and press in the slot where it comes out. So you need something that, like I said earlier today, digital. I heard what you said and I like what you're talking about. I want it now. I could click a button at 2 a.m., enter the information, and if you're charging, $20 or whatever this thing is, $97, $59, whatever, I could pay you for it. And then bling, I get an email and I got what I paid for. Like a vending machine. So I use Stand Store for that. You can use whatever you want for that, as long as it will automatically digitally deliver. As soon as they enter their information or their payment information, it will deliver the thing that you're selling to them. So the free lead magnet goes in there, something that's genuinely actually useful that people can get by giving you their email address, a guide, a checklist, a template, a short training. It could be a video on the other side of it. You want the full training on this? Just go in there, put your email, and boom, they get a email with the link to this training. It's just a private video on your YouTube. That's the only way they can watch it, is to get that email. Something as simple as that. So I just gave y'all the 5-minute version of how to do this. If you want the whole full training, just go to the link in the description and get the full. I taught a 30-minute workshop on this. Absolutely free. That's easy. Now you're adding people to the email list, okay? So something that earns their permission, raising their hand for you to keep talking to them, okay? You can put, you need 3 things, okay? 1 is the free thing. 1 is the paid digital product that I'm talking about. Something between $25 and $100, whatever, a little short mini course, a workshop, replay, a swipe file, a tool, a framework, something that you build one time, can deliver digitally and sell indefinitely. And I don't care what your product or service is, everybody needs a digital product, something that I can go in there and click and pay, and I get what I paid for, and you don't have to lift a finger. This is free money that you're leaving on the table. If you have any knowledge, any thought leadership, that a bunch of stuff that most people don't know, you should have a digital product where you're sharing that knowledge. Okay, so a free thing, a paid digital product, And a lot of you guys, if you're consulting, if you can coach, if you could teach classes, if you can help somebody assess something, if you can, do an overview and review something with somebody, if there's any kind of direct counseling thing that you can do, you can have a paid call option in your stand store. That's a third thing. So a 30 or 60-minute call, the same way I have Better Call Doll right now, is free. It's no longer free. It's going to be on the stand store, and you can charge $30, $99, whatever, for an hour or 30 minutes with you. So if somebody want to talk to you, not saying don't do your discovery calls. We're not talking about that. I'm just saying how my loop is about to go. So somebody want to talk to you, look, I can fix your pitch in 35 minutes. If you want to book that, go here, click on there. Boom. So you got your free thing, free lead magnet, your entry-level product that we've been talking about that's digital, and an option to pay to get on your calendar and talk to you. You're going to go on there, go through your framework. They get a deliverable. You're going to use the Afro method. And if they probably going to buy something else from you after the call. Okay, that's it. 3 things in my store. Not 27,000 things, and certification, all this other stuff. 3 things. Okay. You can add other stuff later. All right, now let me show you some math. I got this directly from my coach. I'm just telling you, she's a millionaire. She used to be homeless. Literally. She wrote a book about it. She tried to invest in my company. I'm telling you, y'all can do what you want to do. This is what she does right now. One video, get 200 views in 1 month. 20 people click on the thing. So that's a 10% click-through rate. They click to the stand store. 2 people bought the $27 thing. That's like 10% conversion. So you make $54 from that one video. Not bad. So if you do that 3 videos a week for a month, you're probably going to make about $600, $650. That could pay somebody's car note. That could pay some rent or some bills or something. Okay? That's off of one video, 200 views. What if you get more views? What if you have more videos? So as your library grows to 30 plus videos, you're basically compounding that with 0 effort. It's the same thing for you every day. You just wake up, show up, do this thing, point them to one of these 3 resources, and the thing is sitting over there. They click, you get money. Yay. It goes in your Stripe or whatever, your PayPal. Okay, so having proof that people want what you have, like the early conversations that you had, the things that you've built and you're trying and testing it out, those early views and stuff, we're not concerned how many people. We just want to know, oh yeah, they like this. They need this. They want this. Okay, cool. Once you have that proof, now we optimize it. Okay, make my titles better, make my thumbnails better, make the call to actions better, do, change up my offer. You could do all of that, the tweaking, the 1% better, all of that. But it works because you've built this foundation. If you don't build the foundation, there's nothing to tweak. Okay, so then these videos live eternally. There are many, many videos that I'm watching that are 2 and 5 years old. And I'm like, oh, I need that. Click, click, click. So they're going to keep working for you indefinitely. So it's like a vending machine, except you don't have to go back and fill it up. Once it's there, it's there. Okay. So now the stand thing comes with a 14-day free trial. And it's like $29 a month after that. Just like school has a 14-day trial. I was about to talk about school. And then it's whatever, $9 or $99, one of the two, every month. Okay, so you set it up, create your offer, and make your first few sales before the trial ends. You done paid for it. It pays for itself. But if you do all of this, you're going to pay $30 max. Okay, for the stuff. And why am I saying stand store? Because you can literally upload the digital thing, whatever it is, in the stand store and not attach anything else to it. And if they click on it and they pay the money, it'll automatically send them the thing and give them access to the thing. So I didn't say nothing about it. Email, autoresponder, none of that. Of course, you can have that. So if we can't find $30 a month, then we need to do something different, but we can work on that too. but this is automated. It pays for itself if you can get a few people clicking through every month. Okay, so if you can't get enough people to pay to buy your stuff to cover the cost of the platform that you're using, you need to go back to some earlier parts of what we were talking about. Okay, so you can see where people are landing, what they're clicking on, where they're dropping off, and tweak accordingly until it works. Okay, so part 3 of the machine is my school. Y'all know I have a school. I've been planning for this and I'm here now. Okay, so you got YouTube bringing people in to the building or to the storefront. You got Stand as the store. They shop around. They might buy a little something. Now, school is where they hang out. This is my community. I know we have a WhatsApp, but ideally, this is really going to be happening on school. And y'all know that's SKOOL. It's like the community membership thing. You could do a free one. You could do paid ones. You think of it like a WhatsApp or a Facebook group or something like that, but it's built to be monetized. It's something that people are used to. People get upset with me in the WhatsApp because WhatsApp is not for this purpose that I'm using it for. It's very annoying to people when we click through the WhatsApp. But they'd rather be on a Substack or school or whatever. You can do the same thing I'm about to describe in your Substack, by the way. But I'm just saying school. Same exact model works for Substack, okay? So about 20 million people are already spending time learning. That's the difference between school and Substack. They are over there looking specifically to learn things and to connect with other people who have similar interests and goals. So that platform is built for that. People go on Substack because they want to read interesting articles. So that's not quite the same. I don't necessarily, it gets a little challenging. I'm just telling you, when you have 50 or 75 people that you're really interested in that you follow on Substack, and then all of them, you can't get the good stuff without subscribing and paying $20 a month. Like, that's a lot of $20 a month. Like, hold on. So it sounds good in theory, but now you're competing with all the other really interesting people on Substack. So I suggest you leave your Substack free and bring them over to, your email list is just where we tie all this together, but bring them over to like a school where they can hang out. And if they choose to upgrade or access something, it doesn't feel like, oh my God, another Substack subscription. Because it's kind of getting to be a lot. Like, I love to follow and read all this stuff, but I'm not going to pay 100 of y'all $20 a month. I'm not doing that. Nobody's doing that, honestly. So anyway, some of them are so good that it's like, I'm paying anyway. And you can do that too. But here we go. 2 ways to do school. You can do a free with paid upgrades inside, or just a paid only membership, monthly or annual. You could do either one. Okay, so check it out. Let's say you have a free one. 100 free members. I got 40 something free members in the school, and I haven't sent it to nobody but y'all in the WhatsApp. Okay. 100 free members. Every 2 days, one person upgrades to do $100 a year for, let's say the Zoom, let's say you couldn't have access to our Thursday Zoom or whatever, unless you were a paid member. It's $100 a year. Most people would pay, right? So let's say every 2 days, somebody upgrades. So that's like a $50 a day average over the course of a year. Then let's say I have a $37 a month membership, and over time, because I keep sending people from YouTube, they're coming into the school for free. Let's say over time I get 100 people paying me $37 a month. That's $3,700 a month. That's recurring. If I get 200 members, I'm at $7,400, $7,500 a month. But you're only paying $9. I could do all this on the $9 version. Okay. So if you do a free version, they come in, they like what's going on, they're getting all this value from you. Some of those people are going to upgrade. So I love a good monthly membership because, again, if you know you got 200 members and you know what I'm saying, and you know you got new people coming in, and you know the percentage of people that are going to convert by the end of that month because you're giving so much great value. Like your event calendar in your school is another reason why I like school, because they can see, oh, she's doing a workshop. Oh, she's going to be at this event. Oh, da, da, da. And they can just be pulling up and building real community like we do. Y'all, we chat with each other and do all that in school. So a percentage of people are going to be like, man, I want to go to this workshop. Oh, well, that's for paid members only. Well, I'll go ahead and upgrade because you're giving so much value in the community, right? So once you have that group of people who know you, know each other, they're having a shared experience, they feel like they belong to something, that can't be replicated. That's a curated group of people who know you, like you, trust you, are following your thought leadership, who are working on the same things together. And that's what makes people stay. And then if you get that recurring membership revenue, that's beautiful, because now that's stable. Now I know, like I said, if I got 200 people, even if 50 people fall off, I know I got 100 more people coming in every month, and 50 of them are going to upgrade. So I'm probably going to be floating around 200, 250. Then if I can get more people coming in, 200 a month coming in for my videos, because I get better at that, get more traction on YouTube, then that's going to go up. You see what I'm saying? This is a model that we can replicate. So if you know how to teach wellness, if you know how to teach financial planning, you know how to teach yoga, you teach whatever it is. Most of us need some type of community that could be monetized like this. Okay. So let's say, oh, doll, that's a lot. I don't know where to start. If you want to just have your digital products, like you're just talking, send them to a link, they click it, they buy it, which is what most people do on Instagram still today. They're very 2015 with it, but okay. And you want to do that? You can start with the stand store or start with the digital products. You want to build community, be more hands-on, and have more of these like real conversations, because you can also go live in school. You start over there, but I would do both. So YouTube, they can hit my stand store. And then now I got the email. I turn on the email. That's the extra bonus piece that I'm doing. And so now I'm staying up with them. And then some of them, they want more community and conversation, go to the school. Some of them will upgrade. That's what I'm doing. That's the machine.
So you're saying in the stand store, you can turn on for them to put in emails?
Well, I'm saying you will get their email, because they can't buy anything or download anything without their email.
Okay.
And then I'm saying, as an addition, I am going to have an email autoresponder in there, in the midst, just so that I can kind of no, in my machine, I'm saying.
I see.
So that, so I can just keep dripping on people.
Okay.
Like the way that I talk to the group on WhatsApp, I need to be able to replicate that.
Right.
And that's what I'm going to use email for.
Okay.
Until they get into my school, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it all works together. YouTube is finding you people who are already looking for what you're talking about. Now, just like I just said, I'm gonna add an email newsletter to that, so I can be communicating with people and stay on top of mind and drop it. Which we can also use Substack for that, right? If I post them on Substack, it's gonna go to what? Their email. So you can customize this. But the main thing is, YouTube is finding people who are already looking for exactly what you got to teach. Your video earns their trust. 15, 20 minutes is actually going to help you solve 7-11-4. Okay, you have a call to action. They're going to go to a stand store, buy something, download it immediately. You'll get the free thing, get on your email list. Okay, and then from there, they can follow you over to the school where they can get the free community and stuff. And again, as you're doing videos, you can change up what you direct them to. So in this video, based on what I'm talking about, now I have a whole hour-long workshop that I taught about the elevated 5-star pitch. That's in my school community. To get access, just go over here and join, So today I would emphasize the school link. The next day, I say, now I have a whole guide. It's called the Yellow Brick Road. It's going to tell you exactly how to go from, I just got this idea, to knowing how to show up on social and start getting your first customers in 100 days or less. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Go over there and get it. It's in the stand store. Right. And then another day I can emphasize something else. I got the free thing, download the free guide to the first whatever. And that's also in my stand store. You see what I'm saying? But then below that, I can still have all the rest of the links. So it's not that you're not showing them all the stuff if you have 3 things to offer. But when you're talking in the video, and you do the call to action at the beginning and then at the end of your video, you're emphasizing one resource for that video that you want them to, the action you want them to take from that video.
Okay, so you point them to the Stand Store from YouTube. Do you ever point them to school?
Yes.
Or do you? Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So depending on, like I said, if I have like the 5-star pitch is in my school already.
Okay.
So I could be like, now I'm just breaking it down for y'all, but if you want a full breakdown of this, just go to my school community, and I could emphasize that for that video.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And do you have the school community somehow tied to your Stand Store? I see that you can do links and stuff with it.
Yeah, I put all the same links everywhere. So they're in my link tree, they're in my, they're all on my YouTube, they're everywhere. Because once people really like what you got going on, then they'll sit there and start browsing. They'll start clicking through everything.
See other things.
They will.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you can emphasize whatever you want them to do for that video, but then you can still have the other links below, or the other links can be in your description on your YouTube channel, and they can find them their way like that. Okay, so you're adding at least 2 to 3 videos a week, I hope, to this YouTube library. You can sync all this up with LinkedIn and Substack and all the other stuff. So don't misunderstand. I'm just saying because it's long form. And then every time you put a new video, it's like a new product that you put in your vending machine. And it's open forever. People can find it months and years later. Okay. Stand Store processes the money, gets the emails for you, and takes the payments for you. And then school gives you some form of community, which you again can replicate with Substack, but keeping people warm and building loyalty and stuff like that. Because I've seen people use their Substack pretty much like school, because you got monthly recurring stuff, right? You have certain resource guides and things that you have available, but only for those who are paid. You can go live and you can do chat and stuff like that. You can do that on both school and Substack. The only difference is school is designed with this in mind. Substack is not. So it is harder for people to kind of go back and find. If you taught 5 years ago, you taught this thing, versus in school, it's going to always be there, just in your courses right there. So that's the difference. But the other functionality is the same. So here go to math. I'm not even counting like if I get my channel monetized and all this kind of stuff. I'm not even counting that, because people do make money doing that. I'm going to talk about that. You should be able to make 2 to 3 sales a day. Let's say anywhere from $27 to $99 by the time you get this machine up and running. So that's like anywhere from $60 to $150 a day. Okay, cool. People are upgrading, recurring on your school or your Substack, your monthly membership, let's say. Let's say that's like $27, and 2 or 3 people are upgrading a day. You're going to make anywhere from $50 to $150 a day. So just off of this very simple math, we made anywhere from $140 to $350 a day. We know that $300 a day is $10,000 a month. We know that. I know that an extra $3,000 a month would be great. It's going to pay somebody's mortgage and somebody's daycare bill or something. Like, we like money. Okay. So this is how we make money. This is how we build a machine that makes money. That's it. So this is not like it's going to take me a year to hit these numbers. This is, you got a video library, 30 plus videos that are very specific to what somebody's looking for, thinking about, searching for, asking for. A very refined, offer, and a way to keep people feeling like they're part of a community. So school, Substack, email. If you still have a WhatsApp or a Facebook group, that's fine too. Instagram, you can build. It's not that you can't build community on Instagram. It's just not built for some of all this other stuff. So if you got a community following you over there, bring them over here to this thing, this machine. Do 60-second reels on Instagram and be like, go watch the whole video. That's what the conspiracy man. 80% of the time I like him. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it doesn't matter. But he's like the modern Black conspiracy man, and he's blowing up right now. So he'll do all his little reels on Instagram, 60, 90 seconds, and then it's like, watch the whole video on my YouTube. YouTube Shorts, same thing. He'll have the little short one that you can watch right fast, and then right above that, it'll be linked to the full video on his main channel. So wherever your people are, invite them into this machine that we just built. And it's going to work, and it's going to compound. So every time you add a new video, the more specific you get, the better headlines, titles, and thumbnails, and all that little stuff. We can tweak, you can get better. And the numbers go up on each part of the machine. Right? So you don't even have to be live. You really don't have to post every day. You don't have to have no team and no editors and all this kind of stuff. I know people get into all of that. But you need to have a very specific, useful video. Put it in the thing and send them to, these offers and repeat. You can do this. It requires you to show up as a different version of you, but you can absolutely do this. So I would love it between now and, let's say, the summertime, or between now and the end of the year, if at least one of us, besides me, because I'm free to go do it. I told you. I think I play it. I'm not playing. Can say, I did it and it worked. And I'm outside. My machine is working. That's what I want for us. So everything I'm teaching and everything we've been working on is to have the identity of the version of ourselves that would even consider doing this work. Instead of saying, oh, that's too much work. I just want somebody to give me some money. Okay. I just told you how to make some money, but okay. Oh, I can't do that. I need some lighting. Okay. I just told you don't, but all right. Oh, I'm not sure what to post. What do I talk about? Did you talk to 50 humans yet? Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I gave you the entire recipe. So whichever part of the game that you're on, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to dribble and you can't dribble between your legs yet. Let's work on that part. If you can't dribble behind your back and spin, let's work on that part. If you're good with the ball until you get a defender, and then we need to work on that. It's like, I can do a layup, but I can't shoot. Okay, let's work on your jump shot. Well, I'm great offense, but my defense is terrible. Let's work on that. You know what I'm saying? I need you up and down this court, and I need you to be able to do it for 48 minutes of the game or whatever it is, 45 minutes, and don't play with me. And I need you to have 25 points on average. Like, let's go. But there's so many different components that we got to work on to get you there. But most importantly is your basketball IQ, right? So a lot of what I do is giving y'all the entrepreneurial IQ so you can know when your instinct, the difference between instinct and intuition. Okay, hopefully you develop yourself and you become the version of yourself that even your instincts you can trust. But sometimes you'll have lower instincts because you've been in low frequency energy around low frequency people, and you'll have an instinct to just do something that's completely not going to help you achieve your goals. Intuition lives up here. Instinct is the program that you run on in the 3D. So there is a difference. But if I can get you to tap into your intuition more often than not, you'll make some money. And I literally mean make we make a recipe. We just go here and do this, do that, boop, 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 makes money. Does that make sense?
Sounds like a plan to me.
We can do it. I know we can. So I thought it was gonna be done at 3:30. It's 4:00. So anybody got anything before we jump off and things? I'm gonna do it. Y'all sit here and watch me make this money by myself if you want to. I'm doing it. I've had every obstacle. You can't tell me about no obstacles. I want to hear them about life be lifing and all of that. I don't want to hear it. Because as long as you have an internet connection on a device, you can do what I'm telling y'all to do. I got some questions in the chat. I've been over here just talking. So let me answer the questions in the chat. Shout out to y'all on the stream. Patrice said, hey, dog. Shout out to y'all. I have 5 different sections, levels of my business. I'm using AI to build them. Have 1.5 months worth of content lined up to start. This is what I'm talking about. We don't have a money problem. We don't have a content problem. We just need to lock in. Share. I need you to share. Okay. Yeah, no. I just rendered your vegan good search site. Okay. I'm trying to build that. I have 2 segments that will address this. Please explain the loop to close the gap. I hope that you stayed with me, Patrice. That's the loop. So if I am explaining, you're welcome. So I did a good job. So we start this feedback loop. We're talking to humans. By the time we get to the other side, there's money. Okay. And there's a community of people, and that starts to build a life of its own. It's motion, momentum, mastery. I've never changed. I'm always saying the same thing. I'm just saying it in different ways. So this is a very practical way to take the energy of getting in motion. You talk to enough humans. Now let's feed the machine. We know what they're looking for. We know what they're asking for. We know what they want. We know what they're struggling with. We know what the problems are. Specific language. Now we make videos based on that. Then we send them to the solution. Not like some big generic thing that I can't overwhelm this. I can't digest this. I'm overwhelmed. Remember I said, name the problem that your client is going to have, and then tell your GPT of choice, break down the 10 steps to get this done, and then tell it to break each one of those down into 10 steps. And now you got video topics. Just a little one thing, teach the one thing, give me a story, give me a hook, give me all of that. Everything I taught you how to do, make it engaging, do all of that. And then at the beginning and the end, you got a call to action. Send them to your stand store, your digital product, whatever it is. And then if you really want to be somebody, want to go somewhere, get you a community aspect where you can engage and chat and go live, and they can talk to you and have a shared experience and ask questions and all the things. That's it. Last question over here. It says, before April 1st, where should we put our money? Okay, so they're not going to crash anything April 1st, but they are basically devaluing the US dollar intentionally right now. This is how they're going to deleverage and get out of the $39 trillion in debt. That's going to be 40 trillion in a minute, because they keep spending 200 billion at a time on a war that we can't call a war. Okay. So we don't have time to pay for Medicare, but we got time to do this. Okay, cool. So how are they going to get out of it? They're not going to just let it crash. I mean, they could, but they're not. I mean, by the time they finish, it'll be like it crashed, because it'll be worthless, but they're not going to tell you. They're not going to be like, oh, $1's over now. They're not going to have a press conference and do that. What they're going to do is what they did right after World War II, from 1942 to 1951. And they're going to marry the Fed and the Treasury. They're going to take some regulations off the banks that used to be there to allow the banks to have less reserves that they're required to hold. And what they're going to do is buy U.S. Treasuries, because the world is dumping them. I don't know if y'all saw, Iran just got on national TV, as my mom would say, and said, we see y'all playing in our face, and we're not here for it. So anybody who's got U.S. Treasuries on their books, any banks and financial institutions that are doing that from any nation, you are now considered, a target, basically. Same way we would borrow a military base, you got next. You know what I'm saying? We're watching you and all of your balance sheets. You know what I'm saying? That's what Iran just said. So that, plus the price of oil doing what it's doing, plus the Japanese reverse carry trade, which I explained in great length in our WhatsApp group, it's about $1 trillion worth of treasuries are going to get dumped. So you really think they're just going to sit here and let that happen and let it go to zero? No, at least not for you to know about it. So what are they going to do? They're deregulating as of April 1st. Banks can now have less reserves and take extra money that they have. What money? Oh, that's our money. Oh, our savings that are in the bank. I don't know if you've looked at your APY lately, your average percentage yield, your annual rate that you're getting paid in your savings account is probably less than 1% in most banks. Okay. But the bank has no incentive now to pay you anything higher than that for you to keep your money there, because you know what they can do now is of April 1st, they can go and buy U.S. Treasuries. So they're going to get a guaranteed, 3-4% return on that. So that's what they're going to do. And they're not going to be concerned about you and your savings and what you're doing. So you're going to get even lower percentage rate of return on any money sitting in USD. Now, what's wrong with that? I mean, that sounds bad because where's my interest? But also inflation. It's going to keep doing what it's doing. And if your money is sitting somewhere that is not outpacing inflation, you're losing buying power. So I can go through all the math. I had to do that on Substack. But basically, you're losing buying power with every month, every year that goes by. The banks don't care because they're getting guaranteed return interest. The government needs them to buy the treasuries so the whole thing doesn't collapse. And we got to be smart enough not to just sit here and watch something that $100,000, what that could buy in 2025 will be worth what 50 or 40,000 by 2028. We got to just move out of USD, stop sitting in savings accounts that are not paying us anything, and get to some assets and some things that are going to outpace inflation. So nothing bad is going to happen like that April 1st, but this deregulation begins. And so the devaluation of the dollar is going to begin. But unless you understand economics, you would not know that this is happening. They're not going to put a headline. It's just like the value of this dollar is like, it's just, yeah. So we got to start moving differently and be prepared for that. So that's why I want us to build an engine so we can make some money and buy whatever we need to buy, invest in what we need to invest in, make the moves we need to make. So we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be all right. Any other questions before we jump off? I love it here. Thank y'all for being here. Wonderful. Okay. Hearts and minds. Hearts and minds. Go,
great.
go, go.
Thank you, doll.
Thank y'all.
I'm just saying thank you. This was a great session. I learned a lot, and I will be implementing this.
Let's go. Let's go. Make this money and then go ahead on. So I'll see y'all on the next one. You know how we do. Until then, I gotta go. We gotta go. I'm out.